Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku was Hanekawa Hasumi brother, and they became Quirkless Hunter siblings movie. Before we start, please go support DarkUnknownReader for writing that awesome fanfic. Izuku Yagi was being beaten up by his friends, 1A and 1B, as well his older brother and half-twin sister. While he was being beaten up, a black-haired girl with almost black eyes was passing by. She watched them beat Izuku until she recognized him. She hurried to defend and scared off both Izuku's older brother, sister, and his friends. Later he finds himself in a hospital. There was two adults speaking to a doctor while beside him was the girl that saved him. He take a look and see she is only 2 years older than him. The girl woke up and take a look at him. He feels scared and want to freak out, but suddenly was hugged by her. This surprised him as he doesn't know who she is. He asks who she is only to reveal that she is his older sister named Hasumi. Siblings reunited again. 10 years ago. A black-haired girl could be seen playing with a green-haired kid. She was 2 years older than him and they both smiled while playing. The girl tried to ignore her parents yelling at each other downstairs. Due to a visit at the quirk doctor, she was diagnosed quirkless, but she really couldn't care. All she cared about was keeping her family safe when she gets older. After a good hour or two, the yelling stopped as her mother come into her room while she is playing with her brother. She grabs the girl before throwing her into a wall. The girl rubbed her head as she sees her mother glaring at her while her brother looks scared. "Girl, what was that for, Mom?" "Mother, you and your father are to leave this house in 2 days. Pack your things and say goodbye to your brother forever, you worthless piece of crap, and never call me Mom again." Her father comes up and glare at her mother before picking the girl up. "Father, come on sweetie, me and you are leaving." "Girl, but what about?" "Father, unfortunately your mother has not allowed us to take him with us, even though he is also my child, while your and his twin are from another man." The girl felt her tears starts leaking from her eyes, but she held strong. That night the girl cried in her sleep. The next morning her father have packed everything that belonged to them and was putting it in his car, while the girl's mother glared at them. She sees her little brother trying to come outside to her, but her half-twin brother held him back. She was about to try walk over to him when she was stuck while walking. Her mother have used her quirk on her so she couldn't move. "Mother, don't come near here, brat." She was then let go off as she had to walk away. She sat in the car before looking to her brother. As he continued to call for her, she began to cry before looking at him and said, "Girl, don't worry, your Nasen will find you one day, I promise you." She gives him one last smile as he continued to cry and shout until her father sat in the girl and started it up and driving away from a place that was once their home. Present. We see the younger brother being beaten up by his older brother, sister, and former friends. He was begging for them to stop. "Shut up, Izuku, you will always be a damn weak Deku, you hear me?" "Izuku, what have I done to deserve this? You were born quirkless." As his siblings and former friends continued to beat him up, a girl was taking a walk. She decided to relax today from the look of it. She had black hair and dark brown eyes. She was wearing a black sweater and blue patterned skirt, black sneakers and gray knee-high socks. While walking she comes across Izuku and his siblings and former friends that was still beating him up. She catch a glimpse who they were beating up and quickly rushed over there. "Girl, hey, what do you people think you are doing? Leave, this is between him and us." "Girl, wait, I know you, Iku." The older brother, now known as Iku, looks towards the girl. "Iku, hello Hasumi, here, I thought you wouldn't return, you quirkless crap." They both glared each other down as Izuku's sister and former friends stop. "Hasumi, well, you have gained a giant ego, Iku." The air thickened around them as Iku used his quirk, also called Stockpile Enchantment, to charge at her, but Hasumi sidestepped before tripping him. Iku got up and tried to punch her, only for Hasumi to avoid him. She then see an opening and punch him in the chest before knee him in the stomach. She then follow up with a kick to the head and finish him off a punch to his nose. The nose was broken and bleeding from it. He glared at her before getting scared as she sent him a cold, uninterested stare before looking at the others. They felt the need to run, but a spiky-haired sand-blonde boy with red eyes charged towards her. "Katsuki, don't." "Katsuki, and I will show this other Deku who is the true superior person." Before he could do anything, Hasumi have punched him in the gut before grabbing his arm and throwing him into a blonde-haired boy with gray eyes and a dual-haired boy. "Hasumi, Izumi, it could take your friends and leave now. They all grab Iku, Katsuki and the others 2 boys, but they sent her a glare that promised them pain. Izumi, this isn't over. Hasumi, it is Izumi. Just because you are 43 people doesn't mean I still can't beat you. It isn't about the quirk but about your training and skills, something I can tell most of you are lacking. With that said, they leave. Hasumi walk over to Izuku as she could see he have passed out. She take out her phone and calls her father before grabbing him and heading towards the nearest hospital. 5 hours later, Izuku was waking up from the beating. He was in a hospital room. He looked at the open door and see a black-haired man and an ice blue-haired woman talking with a doctor, while beside him sit Hasumi in a chair with closed eyes relaxing. Izuku tried to get up but was too weak to move, so he fell down and groaned in pain. Hasumi opened her eyes and looked at him. He was scared when she looked at him. He wanted to move away from her, as she only got closer to him. He was scared if she was going to punch him, only to feel a warm embrace and hear a soothing voice. Hasumi, don't worry, everything is alright now. Izuku. Izuku, who are you and how do you know my name? Hasumi, I am your older sister. Hasumi, we were kinda separate 10 years ago. Izuku, but I thought my only sister was Izumi? Hasumi giggled a bit from this. Hasumi, nope, she is your half-sister, but I am actually the only biological sister, same mother and same father. Izuku didn't know how to react, but his body hugged the girl back while began crying. Hasumi, your Nei-san is back and she will protect you just like when I found you again in the park. He continued to cry into her shoulder while Hasumi continued to comfort him. While that happened, another man comes over to the man, woman and doctor. He have blonde hair and blue eyes. He also have some muscles on him. They could see his panic as they wonder why is he here. How is Izuku? Please tell me he is okay. Doctor, he is in that room over there. As he looked in to see Hasumi and Izuku hugging as he is still crying while she is comforting him, he walked into the room. Hasumi noticed him and sent a cold glare at him. Hasumi, who are you and what do you want? My name is Toshinori Yagi and I am that boy's father. Hasumi, so that crap of a mother remarried. Toshinori, what do you mean? Allow me to explain. Hi, I am Hisashi Midoriya. This is my wife is Death. She is teaching my daughter here Hasumi to fight. Toshinori, I see. But can you explain what young Hasumi meant with that crap of a mother remarried? Hisashi, 10 years ago Hasumi was diagnosed quirkless. Me and her former mother would continue to argue about her being kicked out or not. In the end she told me she have been cheating on me before she was pregnant with Hasumi with someone I didn't know. I told her we were getting a divorce and I was taking Hasumi and Izuku. But she didn't allow me and forced Izuku to stay with her and banned me and Hasumi from ever going near him. Toshinori, why would she kick her out but allow Izuku to be beaten up by his friends? Hisashi, she what? Toshinori, she allowed the kids to beat him up. I always try and protect him, but I more and more can't and it only getting worse. Is Death, well, looks like there is a boar I have to kill. As a murderous aura surrounded her, Izuku held himself closer to Hasumi and Hisashi tried to calm his wife down. Hasumi, Mom, calm down. We don't want you to go to jail. Just because you're a general doesn't mean you can just go and kill random people. Is Death, but that hitch have to suffer. Hasumi, Mom, killing her is mercy. Instead I have another idea. This stopped the mother as everyone looked at her. Hasumi, Mr. Yagi, how about you give Izuku custody back to my father while give us any evidence to court on why he should stay with us. Then we don't tell her anything. While we move away from here and make sure Inko will not take him back. Not only that, but when she finally figures it out, you leave her to take care of our ex-siblings alone. While she is alone, Mom will help train us while Dad and Mom will teach us to be better person than her. So when she finally find him, it will be too late to undo everything and he will already have a new life with a better family. Hisashi, that is one way of getting revenge on her. Toshinori, I am in. Is Death, Hasumi, when you reach age 17 I will teach my interrogation technique. Hisashi feels scared because he could just picture if Hasumi become more like her new mom. Hasumi, alright Mom, but I will also work under you too. She make a small laugh. Izuku, Hasumi, what do you mean? Hisashi, Izuku, it is kinda simple. she is following her mother's footstep and is going to be in the army. Tashinori. Anyone in the army could be called a true hero because they aren't fighting for themselves but their country to make sure that it is safe. Their bravery is sign they are what I would call a true hero since they sacrifice their life for the country's protection, even if they kill other people that are also fighting for their own country. The doctor went inside before doing some quick tests, then discharged Izuku. When they got outside, Hisashi and his death go into a car before starting the car up. Izuku didn't know what to do, but Hasumi grabbed his hand and gently pulled him with her to the car. Hisashi, go on, hop in. Izuku got into the car before his older sister followed after. While sitting in the car, his father, new mother and sister ask him what he likes. He tells them he likes heroes and analyze quirks, and his favorite hero was All Might. Hisashi, what about color, food and other things? Hasumi, knowing you, he likes Katsudan. He probably also have your personality. From my knowledge his favorite color is red, but his favorite things I don't know. Hisashi, and you are like your new mother, mostly in nature, so what are you speaking about being like someone? Hasumi shoot up as his death laugh at that. She have to admit that her stepdaughter acted way too much like her, even her sadistic nature that she only showed to her enemies. His death, your father is right, my little soldier, you could qualify being my child with the way you act. Izuku see his sister pout at this and giggle a bit. For him it feels weird to be here. When they were done driving they arrived at a house. It looked normal. It have a front yard, a garage and backyard. The house was colored white with a black roof. Hasumi, come on Izuku, let's head inside so I can show your new room. Izuku, huh? Hisashi, she have kinda been planning this for a long time. Izuku followed her inside and upstairs. They got a room and he could read a sign saying his name on it, and across was her room. She gestured him to open the door, so he did. Inside the room was bed, a bookshelf, a TV, a desk with a computer on it, and some video games. The room's color was also red. Hasumi, what do you think? Izuku, I love it, did you do it? Hasumi, most of the room was my idea, but I got Dad to help me decorate it. She suddenly was hugged by him before she hugged him back. Their parents saw this before his death made a coughing sound which shocked the two siblings. His death, now you two, it have been a long day, so rest up, and Hasumi, you have to get earlier up, remember? Hasumi, hi mom, don't worry, I won't skip my training. She then gives one last hug to Izuku before heading into her room. Hisashi, rest up Izuku, tomorrow we are going to get you some new clothes. His death, and if you hear groans of pain in the morning, ignore them, that is just your sister that is training with me. They headed to their room, leaving Izuku alone in his new room. He went to the bed and fell asleep, hoping that this was not a dream he will wake up from. Midoriya sibling bio. Name Izuku Yagi. Age 12. Quirkless. Look. Likes, Katsudan, his stepfather, heroes, quirks, helping people, the color red. Dislikes, his former friends, half-sister, half-older brother, his mother, villains, his teachers and schoolmates, bullies, being used. Name, Hasumi Midoriya. Age 14, soon 15. Quirkless. Look. Likes, her family, training, the color white, guns, swords, analyzing people's movement, fighting. Dislikes, bullies, her former mother, people trying to hurt her family, her former mother, thugs, villains, her former mother, did I mention it enough? 4 years later. Name, Izuku Midoriya. Age, 16, soon 17. Quirkless. Semblance, Lazarus boost. Hunter name, the Arkham Knight, Red Hood. Look. Civilian. Hunter outfit. Likes, his new family, All Might, weapons, fighting, his lovers, his guns, training, Katsudan, reading, sparring with Hasumi, his adopted child, his niece. Dislikes, his past, bullies, people touching his stuff, Team CRDL, Cinderfall and her team, the White Fang, people messing with him. Despises, his former mother, his former sister, not Hasumi, his former brother. Weapons. Name, Hasumi Midoriya. Age 19. Quirkless. Semblance, none, she don't use aura or semblance. Army code name, Taskmaster. Look! Civilian. Armor. Likes, her family, training, her weapons, her lover, her armor, analyzing people, fighting, scarring an army on the battlefield, teaching jerks a lesson. Dislikes, Izuku's past, bullies, the White Fang, people threatening her family, cowards, traitors, General Ironwood, pervert, White Fang. Despises, her former mother, her half-brother, her half-sister. Izuku and Hasumi family. Mother, birth giver. Inko. New mom. Is death, Hasumi and Izuku got to learn how to fight from somewhere. Father. Hisashi. All Might, Izuku's stepfather. Siblings. Iku, former half-brother. Izumi, former sister. Start on afresh. Izuku begin to open his eyes. He fastly sit up and see he is in a completely red room, different from his old one. He remembers what happened yesterday as he smiled. He was finally free from his former harm, and he couldn't be more happy. Suddenly he hears someone groan in pain. He hurried downstairs and outside to see his sister and mother training, or what he thinks is a one-sided beatdown. Is death. Come on, Hasumi, you can do better than that. Hasumi, I am not giving up. Before they could continue, they both notice from the corner of their eyes that Izuku is watching them. Hasumi, oh hey Izuku, did we wake you up? Izuku, no, I heard someone was in pain so I hurried out here. Is death. Well, Hasumi did say that if you hear groans of pain it was just her training. Izuku, it looked more like a one-way beatdown. Hasumi, you really think I would be capable of defeating Iku? I needed this beatdown in some kind of way to be ready if I ever was to face him, so there have been a lot of. Suddenly she was forced onto the ground by a giant ice sphere. Is death. Now give me 50 without a break, or no breakfast. Before Izuku could say anything his father bring him inside. Hisashi, whatever you do, never try to stop your mother and sister training. Izuku, why? Hisashi, your mother is a sadist, if anything you will be dragged into it. He shivered as Izuku was scared. He took a glance out the window to see the sphere move up and down. He then see his father prepare breakfast. Izuku, hey dad. Hisashi, yes son? Izuku, how come me and Hasumi are quirkless but Izumi and Iku isn't? Hisashi, well I don't actually know, but I do have a theory. There are some scientists that believe that a few humans can be born without a quirk, but they could unlock something that work both as offense and defense. Maybe that is the reason you both are quirkless. Your sister want to show quirkless people isn't useless. So she have been training ever since she discovered his death was a general, which didn't take long after we started dating. Izuku, I see, so how long does her training take? Hisashi, 2 in the morning, then a 2-minute break at 5 in the morning and at 7 they are done, but on weekends or holidays it will be until either his death or her smell breakfast or lunch, it depends on their focus. Is death, come on Hasumi, only 15 more. Izuku, how is she not in a hospital? Hisashi, you don't want to know, trust me. He then waited for his father to be done with breakfast. When his father was finally done he went outside and told his sister and new mom that breakfast was ready. Hasumi, alright Izuku, we will come now. Izuku looked at her face as there was a lot of bruises. Izuku, Hasumi, are you alright? Hasumi, totally, as long mom isn't on her period I will not be that much hurt. Is death, want to repeat that my little soldier? Hasumi shivered from what her mother said. Hasumi, no thanks, I want to keep my liver. Is death, good answer. Hisashi, now both of you, not here at the table, you can continue tomorrow after lunch. Is death and Hasumi, alright honey/dad. Hisashi, you two are battle maniacs, you both know that right? Is death and Hasumi, we know and we don't care. They ate breakfast and before they headed out to get Izuku some new clothes, Is death and Hasumi went to take a bath. While both 2 other Midoriyas was waiting they decided to talk. Hisashi, Izuku, do you want to become a hero? Izuku, I do but not here. Hisashi, well we are soon going to move to a place called Remnant. They have something called huntsman and huntress. They are people that hunt monsters known as Grimm to protect their people. In a way they are like heroes. Izuku, I see. Do you think I can be a huntsman? Hayashi, yes you can, but you will need to train with this death and Hasumi. You will see some progress in short time. Just ask your sister, she could go against me in friendly sparring and win 7 out of 10 times. Izuku, do you think I will ever get on her level? Hasashi, hard to say. I met his death when she was 8, and before Hasumi turned 9 his death and me was dating, which was when I introduced them. They then started training together, and they have only increased when I married his death. They hear footsteps and see Hasumi and his death have come down. His death is wearing her general uniform that she herself have made, while Hasumi was wearing a white hoodie jacket, a blue shirt, and black jeans. Hasumi, come on, the mall isn't staying open forever. Hayashi, alright sweetie, we still have time, it have barely opened up. Hasumi pouts as her parents and brother is laughing at her being full of energy. His death, well, someone is excited. As the family head out to the car to drive to the mall, when they arrive, excitement was written on Hasumi's face as her family just sigh at this. Hasumi, come on, I want a sibling shirt for me and Izuku. Izuku, well, she have a lot of energy. Hasashi, funny enough, this is the first time she actually let go of it, because she was saving it when she gets you back into our lives. Izuku, well, let's go in before her energy causes trouble. Hasashi, too late. They see her run into a store, knocking a couple of people on the ground. Izuku, she is lively. They headed into the store that Hasumi have run into while apologizing to everyone around them for her behavior. While in the store, they see Hasumi running around looking for something as they wonder what she is looking. Hasashi, Hasumi, calm down please. Hasumi, but... Izuku, Nace, and we will find a sibling shirt, don't worry. Hasumi, fine. As they begin to search for some clothes to Izuku, Hasumi was more busy trying to find a matching shirt for them until she stumbled upon some. Hasumi, hey mom, dad and Izuku, come over here. They head to Hasumi as they see the shirts she is holding up. Hasashi, great pick Hasumi. Izuku, can we get those too? Is death, sure. As they were almost done buying clothes for Izuku, Hasumi grabbed one last thing. It was a dark gray hoodie with a red hood on it. Hasumi, that was the last one. As they headed out, they begin to look for the next store they needed to enter. The family comes across a grocery store. Hasumi groaned because sometimes it would take almost hours. Hayashi, you two can stay out here, we will go in. Izuku and Hasumi, alright dad. As the adults enter, the kids wait outside. Hasumi pulls something out of her hoodie's pocket, and turns out to be a Nintendo DS. Hasumi, want to take turns? Izuku, sure, but what game is it? Hasumi, I have a few games with you, pick one. She pulled out some games and Izuku went over them before choosing Super Mario Bros. She handed him the DS as he began to play the first level. While Hasumi, she kept her guard up and began to look around, making sure her brother is safe. She glanced behind her to see her former mother behind them. Hasumi whisper, Psst Izuku, take the hoodie we bought on and put the hood on. Izuku whisper, why? Hasumi whisper, Inko is behind us. Izuku then grabbed the hoodie from the bag and quickly put it on and put the hood on. Hasumi quickly put her own on as they both went back to playing. Hasumi, that was close. Izuku, yeah, here you go, it's your turn. Hasumi, thanks. She then began to play as Inko turned her head towards the siblings, but before she could do anything, her own kids came towards her with their friends. Inko, you kids done? Iku, you bet mom. Izumi, Inko, great, I will go in shopping before we head home. Iku, Izumi, 1A and 1B, got it. As Inko was about to go in, she hears the siblings behind her cheer before Hasumi hand the DS to Izuku. She was about to walk up to them when Hasashi and his death comes out. His death, so how was it waiting? Hasumi, it was fine mom, we are just using my DS in case we needed to wait, this time it went faster than last time. Hasashi, well, we just needed some fruit and vegetables. Inko, well, who do we have here, how have it been Hasashi? Hasashi, Inko, I hope I didn't have to see you again. Inko, so the girl in the white hoodie must be Hasumi. Hasumi just turned around, sent a quick glare before going back to her DS. Inko, but who is the boy? Hasumi, that is my brother, he is also my new mom's child. Inko, I see, too bad they have to have a useless person as a sister. Is death, well, that so-called useless person beat Deku in a fight and scared of the rest. Inko got angry but decided not to show in front of so many people. Is death, come on kids, let's leave this pitiful woman, she isn't worth the oxygen to be wasted on. The Midoriyas then left Inko and the others alone. Izuku was a bit shaken from what had happened but smiled as his sister managed to cover for him so Inko wouldn't take him back. Hisashi ruffled Izuku's head before sending him a smile. Hisashi, don't worry Izuku, we will always have your back. Hasumi, you got that right. Is death, and if they come close I will break them. Izuku hugged his new family due to how much more caring they were than his old family except his stepfather. Izuku, thank you. Hasumi, what is family for? They then went into a few more stores to get some things for Izuku before they headed to the food part of the mall to get lunch. After the lunch they headed back to their car, but while they headed back they didn't notice the person that was following them stealthily. Mind, so Izuku is leaving with his other family to a new home, I got to tell the others. As the person headed back, Izuku and his new family was heading back home. Izuku and Hasumi was still using Hasumi's DS to play some games as the adults just kept quiet. They knew since Inko have seen Hisashi and Hasumi it will only take time before she will realize that Izuku is also with them. Hisashi, hey Hasumi, you are applying for Japan's military where your mother is in, right? Hasumi, yeah? Hisashi, well, we soon going to move, remember, so that would mean that you have to move back here to Japan. Hasumi looked a bit gloom because she haven't seen her brother for 10 almost 11 years. It hurt her she have to leave him again. Izuku, hey listen, while we are still together let's make as many sibling memories as possible. So even if we are away from each other we will always have the memories and reason to always come back to each other. Hasumi, yeah, let's do that. It have lightened up her mood as she smiled. Her parents could tell that ever since she was forced to leave Izuku it have hurt her emotionally a lot, and it didn't help her when she saw he have been beaten up. Hasumi, well, today have been a fresh start for this new family and I hope Inko won't find us. Hisashi, true, we will begin to look for a new home in the meantime and when we have found one we will let you two know in 2 weeks' notice. Until then why don't you two enjoy the home we have? And Izuku, until we have found a new school at the new place you will have to be homeschooled. Izuku, I don't mind. Hasumi, hey Izuku, you could say your life is starting on afresh after it had been so bad. Izuku, you are right, and this time not with a neglecting mother. As the family drive home they don't know that the person that have watched them has told Inko, and she was angry as well was the kids that was with her. Training with mother and sister. It have been 2 weeks since Izuku have been rescued by his sister, and it have been the best 2 weeks of his life. His sister always want to hang out and give him space when he needs it. His new mother would act overprotective for him and would offer him that she is going to train him. He did deny it for now, but he said that one day he would like to join. His father would teach him how to cook as well subjects until they have moved so he can start in a new school. Izuku was right now watching his sister training, or as he calls it, getting a massive beatdown by their mother. Is death, come on Hasumi, is that all you got? If that is everything you will never be able to protect your brother. Hasumi, I am just getting started, miss. Hasumi charged at their mother as both engaged in a close combat with his death having the upper hand while Hasumi was struggling a lot. Izuku always wondered how come Hasumi could beat Deku but couldn't beat their mother, so he waited until they took a 10 seconds break. After what seems like a whole hour Hasumi was on the ground breathing heavily while being bruised, while their mother didn't have as many bruises as her sister, probably only 3 or 4. Izuku, hey mom. Is death, what is it my little broccoli? Izuku, how are you so good at fighting that you make Hasumi look like she will never be able to beat you? Is death, well, I grew up in small tribe you could say, and we had to hunt for our own food. I grew up hunting and defending myself during that time, and when I became part of the military it only further some those instinct into battle ones. Izuku, I see, so you have been doing this when you was still really small? Is death, yes, but now I have to go back training your sister. Hasumi, get your ass up, break is over. Hasumi groaned a bit but got back up. While Izuku went back inside, he was thinking about what his mother was saying, and tomorrow he was going to join his mother and sister for training. His father saw him think a lot, which made him walk over to Izuku and place a hand on his shoulder, which startled Izuku a bit. Hisashi, hey my boy, are you alright? Izuku, I think I want to join Mom and Nasen during their next training. Hisashi, alright, I will get a medkit then. Izuku, why? Hisashi, why do you think Hasumi is so getting used to being so bruised and not needing to get patched up? His death had beaten her up so many times during their training that bruises does not affect her, and it didn't help when his death's quirk became a part of their training. I wish you luck, Izuku. Izuku was pale from what he heard but was still determined to join tomorrow. He wanted to show Hasumi that she doesn't need to protect him always and he can protect himself. The next day Izuku woke early and went downstairs. When he get down he sees his sister and mom stretching before they start training. Isdeath noticed Izuku staring and she had an idea why he was staring. Isdeath, want to join me and your sister training? Izuku, yes. Isdeath, alright, you will start with a light workout before sparring with Hasumi. After a couple of months you will be sparring with me. Sounds good. Izuku nodded. Sparring with Hasumi would be easier than sparring with his mother during the start. Isdeath, good, now go up and change into some training clothes and we will wait here. He then went upstairs to change into some training clothes. When he was done he headed downstairs to go train with his mother and sister. When he got outside he saw his sister down on the ground looking exhausted. Isdeath, hey Izuku, we did a quick sparring, don't worry, she will survive. Hasumi, I will never be able to beat you when you go all out, Mom. Isdeath, anyways, why don't you start with 50 push-ups, should be easy. Izuku gulped as he could tell this training was going to be a nightmare. He got on the ground and was about to begin when an ice block landed on his back. It was a bit heavy, so he ended being face down on the ground. Isdeath, just so it will be easier, your sister need a heavier one though. Hasumi, may God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit protect me from the pain I am about to endure as more of my training begins. Izuku, should I be worried? Isdeath, mostly no, but probably if things get worse then yes. Izuku gulped before doing his push-up. It was hard and every time he went downwards his arms began to shake. When he reached 12 he collapsed on the ground as his arms couldn't take more. Hasumi, come on Izuku, you can do it, at least you are not in my shoes. Izuku, it can't be that bad, Nasan. He looked towards her to see a ice sphere on her back while their mother is sitting on it, and Hasumi is doing push-ups. He went back to do his own and managed to do at least 8 before taking a small break. He didn't realize how intense Hasumi's training with their mother was until now. He continued again, and every 5 push-ups he took a break. When he finally got to 50 he was exhausted in his arms. His mother went over and pushed the ice block off him. Isdeath, it may not have been in one go, but this is your first time training, so for a week I will allow you to take some small breaks during training while during the warm-up. Izuku, Hasumi, how can you still move your body? Hasumi, fight the pain and continue. Isdeath, you get a 2-minute break, then you are going to run 20 laps around the backyard and then do 50 sit-ups. Izuku got back up and began to run the 20 laps. During the 20 laps Hasumi was told to run 70 laps and she managed to pass him. He could tell that Hasumi was so used to the harsh training because while running she was forced to dodge incoming ice attacks from Isdeath. While Izuku took a break on his 20th lap, his sister was still running her laps. She was on her 30th lap. Izuku, hey Mom, how many times have Hasumi needed to do this? Isdeath, I made it harder for her 2 years ago, and I need to make harder soon again. Hasumi, oh for the ever love of God, please allow me to live when my mother make my training harder. Izuku felt bad for his sister. After 5 minutes Izuku got up and began to run, and by that time he saw his sister praying while running. She is picking up her speed as his death began to increase the ice that is almost hitting her. By the time Hasumi got to her 46th lap while he was barely done with his 16th lap. When finally both were done Isdeath threw them both a bottle of water as Hasumi catch hers, but Izuku was hit by the bottle. He then picked it up before opening and drink it. When both were done drinking, Hasumi beginning to stretch her limbs while Izuku began doing his sit-ups. When Izuku was done with half of them, He noticed his sister punching an ice block while his death just sighed at that. When Izuku was done, his death stopped Hasumi before telling her to go in and get some bandage since her hands was bleeding a bit, which Hasumi pulls out her pocket. Hasumi, don't worry, I keep some in my pocket now, Mom. His death, since when did you? Never mind. Alright, since this is your first training, Izuku, you will do a quick spar with Hasumi, then you can head inside and relax. Izuku, alright, I think I could use some minutes, probably an hour of relaxing. Hasumi, trust me, soon the only time you will be able to relax if Mom let us train by ourselves or if Dad managed to convince her to let us have a break. She then began to crack her bones before putting her arms in a fighting position. Izuku gulped before doing the same. He then charged at his sister and began to try and punch her. She blocked the punch before pushing him back. During the whole spar she remained on the defensive and him on the offensive. He tried one last punch, but she grabbed his hand before in fast motion appear behind him and press his arm against his back. Hasumi, good idea, ask Mom for some fighting lessons, that would help you a lot, trust me. I know because it have helped me. Is death. Alright Hasumi, let go of Izuku, you have won this spar. Izuku, before we teach you more offensive training, we will probably teach you more defensive. So Hasumi, you are going to go in on the offensive, and Izuku, you will need to defend her attacks, and every time I see something wrong I will correct you. To say Hisashi was shocked when he saw Izuku enter was an understatement. When he asked what happened, Izuku said that Hasumi and his death was helping him train in defensive training. Hisashi sighed. He knew Izuku would get bruised but not this much. But then again he also knew Hasumi's strength. He remembered that she asked his death to make the strongest ice block she could as she punched the ice block. Day and night she would punch the ice block. She barely took a break, and when she did, it was only to change bandages. Hisashi, Izuku never asked you mother to make a ice block only for you to punch it. I don't want another Hasumi punching ice in the middle of a downpouring rainy day happen again. Izuku, she did that? Hisashi, she did that until her hands was almost paralyzed. We managed to stop her before it was too late, but after resting her hands for the required time she went back to it, only stopping when she had to go to school, or we forced her not to punch the ice block. Izuku, she must have done that until the day she saw me again. She really wanted me back in her life. Hisashi, the last time she saw you was when you were 2, you both cried that day as it broke both of you that she had to forcefully leave you. Both of you were inseparable when you were young. Izuku, she must really have been in emotional pain if she did that. Hisashi, yeah, she was also wishing you a happy birthday every time it was your birthday. You never wanted to forget you. Izuku, she really care about me, doesn't she? Hisashi, indeed she does. Is death and Hasumi enter. Hasumi fell face first on the couch as she groaned in pain. Some frostbites was noticeable on her skin. Hisashi sighed before he looked at his death. She looked at him before nodding. Is death. Kids, remember when we told you before we move you will get a 2-week notice. Izuku and Hasumi, yeah Mom. Hisashi, well, we have found a place and it is a pretty nice looking house. It have everything this one have and it is bigger, so there is also more room for everyone. Izuku, wait, we are finally moving away from here? Hisashi, yes we are, but what you mean by finally? Izuku, well, when me and Hasumi have hanged out, we would come across people of my past home. They would try force me back, but when you have a sister that can crack someone's bones, it is bound to some people needing to go to the hospital with a broken skull. Hasumi, I don't regret punching those ice blocks. Hisashi, well, at least you two won't have to deal with them again. Izuku, yeah, and now I don't have to worry Hasumi will be sent to prison due to them trying to take me back. Hasumi, I probably would have been out before a day have gone by because we both know Mom won't let that happen. The family relaxed, knowing they won't have to deal with any more headaches from Izuku's past, but they have a feeling that something will soon change, even if it is for the better or worse. New school, new friends and gifts. Izuku woke with a yawn as he looked around. He changed into a school uniform. He then headed downstairs to see his sister in a military uniform, while his mother is a custom military uniform, while his father is in a business suit. Hisashi, morning champ, how are you? Izuku, nervous. Hasumi, I can understand, it is your first day of school. Hisashi, let's see if you do better than your sister. Hasumi, Hui. Hisashi, you got expelled for so many times beating up your bullies. Hasumi, well, I just didn't want them to get away with bullying me. Hisashi, which is why you were homeschooled. We luckily managed to sue all your schools though. Izuku, at least you did better than me then. They then eat breakfast before Izuku headed to school. On the way he run into two girls. They were wearing the same uniform he is wearing. He decided to walk up to them because all he know was that his parents have enrolled him into a new school, not where it was. Izuku, excuse me. You need something? Izuku, well, I have to go to a school called Signal Academy and I notice you two wearing the same uniform. Do you two think you can show me the way there? Yeah, sure. I am Ruby Rose. And I am Yang Xiaolong. Izuku, I am Izuku Midoriya. The three of them begin to walk to Signal. On the way, Izuku and Ruby talk to each other about heroes and hunters. Yang just smiles as they begin to talk. She was happy her sister have made a friend. Yang, it's so sweet my sister have made a new friend. Izuku, wait, you two are sisters? Ruby and Yang, yeah, why is it so surprising? Izuku, no offense but you two don't look like sisters and both of your name is different. Yang, well, we have different biological moms but the same father. My mom was a deadbeat and left me when I was still a baby. Izuku, that at least explains something. Yang, do you have any siblings, Izuku? Izuku, yep, her name is Hasumi and she is around 2 to 3 years older than me. Ruby, can we meet her? Izuku, well, maybe if we are lucky she will be the one to pick me up. Yang, what did you mean by if we are lucky? Izuku, my sister is joining the military, so chances seeing her is slim to none. Yang, oh, I see. When they arrive at Signal, both Yang and Ruby showed him where the principal's office is. They then say goodbye to him before they headed to their own classes. While Izuku he entered the office, he got his schedule before heading to his class. When he arrived, he spot Yang in the same class as the teacher introduced him before to the class before taking a seat beside Yang. Yang, so you are in my class, huh? Izuku, kinda surprising. Yang, yeah? They then listened to what the teacher said while Izuku listened with interest, while Yang on the other hand was more shaken by the fact how fast Izuku was writing while muttering really low so no one could hear him. When the classes was done, she felt like she was hit with a shotgun of words that just never felt like it was running out of ammo. When they run into Ruby that was talking with her friends, when Ruby spots Yang she noticed how tired Yang looked. Ruby, Yang, what happened to you? Yang, well, I was in the class of our new friend here and he decided to mutter while taking notes. Izuku, I said I was sorry. Yang, anyways, due to his muttering, all the words felt like being hit by a shotgun that didn't end until we were finally done with class. Ruby, it can't be that bad. Yang, it is like you talking about weapons, but multiply that by at least 200 and then you get why I feel so tired. Ruby, maybe if you stopped saying those puns of yours then maybe I would shut more up about weapon. I would feel sorry but I am not. Yang, are you trying to be sassy with me? Ruby gained a playful smirk. Ruby, maybe? Yang just groaned. Izuku, her puns can't be that bad. All of the students in the hall look his way. Ruby and her friends, everyone except Yang, you have no idea how bad they are. Izuku, I am sticking to my gut for now. Yang, thank you. Ruby, just wait until she begins saying jokes. Izuku, are they dad jokes? Ruby, yes. Izuku just smiled before looking at Yang. Izuku, well, I think she can rose up as a comedian. I died writing this, not out of laughter but embarrassment, and I am only going to die more for what is going to happen next. Yang just tried her best not to laugh while everyone just wished that this was a nightmare. Yang, well, someone started their school life out with a Yang. Everyone, please no. Izuku, this is going to be a long and fun friendship. They shake hands while everyone just wished to bury themselves underground. When the day come to an end for the school, everyone bolted out hoping not to deal with the constant dad jokes Yang and Izuku have been telling each other, even the teachers as well the principal. Ruby on the other hand just sigh. Her joke patience is really high. so them joking was not that much annoying, but she just prayed her father doesn't join the two or else she will meet her mom in heaven. When they got outside, Hasumi was waiting for them, when she spots her brother talking to two girls while telling jokes with one of them. She felt happy that her brother is growing up better than when he still was in Japan. Hasumi mind, I wish Inko never separated us. I am so proud to see you grow up. Izuku spotted his sister before running towards her. He run into her, as she still is up while hugging him while he is hugging her. Yang and Ruby got over there to see the two siblings hug. Hasumi, Izuku, aren't you going to introduce your new friends? Izuku, sorry. Hasumi meet Yan Xiaolong and Ruby Rose. They are my new friends and they both are sisters if you are wondering. Hasumi, that is really surprising. I thought they were just friends. Ruby, I can understand why. We look nothing alike but we are siblings. Hasumi, it's alright. I can understand. She then rubbed Izuku's head before gaining a smile. Hasumi, so did you forget what today is? Izuku then remembered what today was. Izuku, sorry Hasumi, I forgot it was your birthday. Remember I stated Hasumi is 14 soon 15. Hasumi, it's alright. Izuku by Yang by Ruby. Yang and Ruby by Izuku. They both begin to head back home. On the way Hasumi would tease Izuku about him making friend with two girls on the same day. Izuku felt embarrassed. She asked how he even meet them. But Izuku explained that he meet them on the way to school because he was never shown where it was, only what it was called. So he saw them wear a uniform that was like his but for girls and he asked if he could tag along. Hasumi face-palmed because she knew her parents have forgot something when Izuku got enrolled. Izuku, Nei-san, is something wrong? Hasumi, yes, Mom and Dad forgot to tell you where you were supposed to go. When they arrive home, they see Tashinori. Their mother and father have decorated the house. Hasumi smiled. It's death. Happy birthday, my little soldier. Look what I bought as the cake. She opens the box to show the cake. The design put a smile on Hasumi's face as it was military camouflage colors with a tank on top driving with a sign beside it that said Warzone. Hisashi, I knew she would love the design of the cake for obvious reason. Wasn't really a surprise what you mother bought as a design. Its death created a ice pillar, and placing the cake on it before bonking Hisashi on his head. Tashinori and Izuku laugh but they also receive a bonk. Its death, remember I am the one with the pants on in this relationship Hisashi. Hisashi, but you are wearing a skirt. He was bonked on his head again. Hasumi sighed at this. Her dad never learned that he should stop teasing Mom because all it did was getting him bonked on the head by her. But she couldn't help but giggle a bit at the scene in front of her. Because to her as long her family is happy she is happy. They then go on to celebrate her birthday. During the time they all noticed Tashinori looking more relaxed but they could tell something is bothering him. Hisashi, is something wrong Tashinori? Tashinori, Inko have been more of a pain lately. Izuku, please explain. Tashinori, she have been craving food. Sometimes the food requests are more ridiculous. She have had mood swings here and there. One day she was a crying mess. The other day she was acting like she had anger issues. Hisashi, is death have been acting the same for a while now, craving food, mood swings, but she also have been trying to relax for a while. Is death, now that you two have mentioned it I actually have 3 gifts. One for Izuku, one for Hasumi and one for both of them. She headed upstairs as the family are wondering what the gifts could be. When she got down she handed a gift to each of them which got the siblings curious. They open up to see they have gotten their own shirt. They read the text on it before looking at their mom. She then handed both a small gift. They both open it to find a small stick in it. Izuku pulls it out before Hisashi looks at his death with a shocked look. All she did was send him a smile. Hasumi, Mom, is that a Izuku, positive pregnancy test? Its death nodded at the twins before she was tackled to the ground by the siblings in a hug. When they got up Hisashi grabbed its death into a hug before lifting her up into the air spinning around. Hisashi, this is my 5th happiest day of my life. Hasumi, what were your other 4 happiest day? Hisashi, your birth, Izuku's birth, mine and his death marriage. Izuku, that was only 3? Hasumi then realized the 4th of their father's happiest day in his life was. Hasumi, Izuku, you returning was his fourth happiest day, the one where you finally came back to us. Izuku suddenly tackled his father in a hug while crying a bit. His death, Hasumi and Tashinori just watched the duo of father and son hug. They knew that no matter what, nothing could ruin this day for them. While back in Japan, Izuku's past tormentors was celebrating Iku's birthday when he got a call from Hasumi. He picked the call up expecting either an apology, or they are handing back Izuku. Hasumi: hello douchebag. Iku: what do you need, freak? Hasumi: nothing much, but Izuku will get either a better half-brother or sister than his former half-siblings. She then stopped the call and sent a photo of the positive test to him with a text saying, my new mom is pregnant. Me and Izuku can't wait to get a younger sibling, before blocking him with one last message saying happy birthday Quirkless buckface. This shocked everyone. Inko suddenly felt nausea from what she just have read and hurried to the bathroom and threw up. The kids hurried to check on her, while with Tashinori he felt happy, but not only for his kids. He then realized something. Tashinori mind, wait, if his death acted the same way as Inko have been since she is pregnant, doesn't that mean Inko is also pregnant? I need to teach that kid right or wrong when it is old enough to learn things, can't have it turn out as Iku and Izumi. I should probably tell this family after the kid is born. I don't want to ruin their happy moment. He looks at the family enjoying a slice of cake while asking his death about its gender. He then take a bite of his own while smiling towards the family. Tashinori mind, today is headacheless and I am happy I could celebrate with them, and I am glad that young Midoriya is happy with this family, even though I am also glad he sees me as a second dad instead of just a stepfather. Hasumi's last day with family and creation of Red Hood. Time skip 4 years later. Izuku was sleeping when the door creaked open. Someone sneaked their way to Izuku before grabbing a chair. They climb onto the chair before jumping off it and land on Izuku's stomach. Izuku felt all the air in his body leave before he falls out the bed. When he opened his eyes, he sees his younger sister. She have blue hair and her eyes are dark blue. Good morning, Anai-san. Izuku: and a good morning to you too. Now can you get out? I need to change. His sister left the room so he could alone. He switched to his school uniform before heading downstairs. There he sees his older sister Hasumi wearing a special suit she have made with her parents' permission. Hasumi: let me guess, Juvia jumped onto your stomach to wake you up. Quick note, the reason I choose Juvia was due to 1. When fire heat up ice it turns to water, which was the 2. Is death have a light blue hair and Hasashi have dark hair, which is why was more of my dumb reason to pick her. Izuku: indeed she did. Hasumi: well, at least she does wake you up. Izuku: well, last I checked we both sparred until I almost passed out. Hasumi: true, but whose fault was also that? She sent him a cheeky smile. Izuku: you win this round, Nei-san. Hasumi: the only thing you will ever beat me in is analyzing things. Is death. Alright, you two, it is Hasumi's last day, so Izuku, you are to immediately to go home after school. Izuku: alright, I will head out now. Hasumi: have a nice day, little brother. As Izuku have walked out the door, a loud thud could be heard as a shadow is covering Hasumi's eyes while tears was flowing down her cheeks. Hisashi: Hasumi, are you alright? Hasumi: the time really have gone fast. He is almost 17 and I am going to join the military in Japan soon. I just wish we had more time. Is death hugged Hasumi tight as she cried into her mother's shoulder, while forcing a happy smile on her face, trying her best to still smile in this situation. Is death, do not worry, you will see him again. I promise you will. Now stay strong, my little shoulder. Hasumi nodded as she ruffled her younger sister's hair. Juvia, Ichiwai. Hasumi: calm down, now come on, we are taking you to the kindergarten. Juvia: can I sit on your shoulders? She was answered by Hasumi picking her up and putting Juvia on her shoulders. Hasumi: there, now let's go. With Izuku, he have just arrived at school. He was walking the hallway to his class along with Ruby and Yang. Yang: so it is your sister's last day? Izuku: yeah, she is going to head back to join the military. Yang: damn, it must suck for your family. Izuku: if anything, this hurts her more than it hurt our family. Ruby: why? Izuku: She wanted to catch a lot up with me ever since we were separated during our childhood. Young. I can understand her reason. I would probably also act hurt if Ruby was taken from me when I just were 4, and just when I got her back I would only be able to be with them for 4 years before I had to leave. Izuku. Well, she is trying to make the best out of it before she is leaving. Ruby. Well, I wish her luck. Yang. Me too. With that, Izuku spent most of his school day thinking about the good memories he have had with Hasumi. He remembered how she have saved him from their biological mother's home. He remembered how she was always happy to train him, how she would react when something happened to him. Once he was bullied by someone only for her to come the next day and scared that bully half to death and beat him up half to death. Izuku mind, she have done so much for me in 4 years, more than my mother and half siblings ever have done for me in my whole life. I wonder what I should give her before she leave for the military. He managed to finish his schoolwork fast and begin to grab a piece of paper from his notebook and begin to draw on the paper. When he was done, he smiled at the work he have done. Izuku mind, I hope she will like it. Yang. Hey, what are you drawing? Izuku almost fell out of the chair in shock due to Yang sneaking up behind him. Izuku, don't scare me like that again, Yang. Yang. So what were you drawing? Izuku. Well, it is me and my sister the day I meet her again after she saved me. Yang. Ah, that is so sweet of you. Izuku. I hope she will like it. Yang. I am sure she will. We have all seen how much she cares for you a lot. Izuku. I know, we all remember that guy that picked on me in front of her. He ended up switching school due to PTSD from remembering that day and from me always picking him as a partner to a school project just to see what happened if my sister and him come face to face. Yang. He would probably piss in his pants. I mean, you sister act like a sweat person, but your stepmom have made her so scary that it feels like we have to walk on eggshells around you. Izuku. I can understand that. After that the school ended, and he headed home to see his parents waiting for him. Hasashi. Hey my boy, HWO, is it going? Izuku. Is Hasumi home yet? Hasashi. No, she is picking up Juvia. Come on, and we are setting the last things up. He looked around to see the decorations. They were all of their own favorite colors, including hers. Hasashi, my little girl have grown up so much. Izuku. Yeah, I still remember the day when she brought me back to my real family and not Inko's. Is death. Yeah, I remember she cried most of the training the day after. Seeing her this happy was really rare. The last time she was so happy was when Juvia was born. She threatened the whole hospital to leave both you and her alone. Izuku. What made it funnier is when she threw the security guard that tried to escort her out outside herself. I think many people laughed seeing a 15-year-old girl literally throw a mid-30-year-old man outside. Is death. What made things even more funnier is that a brave security guard put a hand on her shoulder only for him to get thrown over her, and then lost the ability to have kids. Suddenly a ringtone could be heard as they looked towards Izuku. He take out his scroll and answer the phone call. Hey, a big brother Izuku. Izuku. Hey Asia, how is stepfather doing? Here, I just decided to be a bit lazy and choose Asia, so no comments. Tashinori. I am doing fine, glad I was allowed to take Asia to meet you and your sister. Izuku. Hasumi probably told her not to listen to her mother when she says something bad about Quirkless. Tashinori. She actually did. Hasashi. So Tashinori, have Asia gotten her quirk? Tashinori. Yes, it is called Twilight Healing. As I said, I decided to be lazy. Asia. What about Juvia? What is her quirk called? Izuku. It is called Water Mage. Tashinori. It sounds powerful. I wish we could talk more, but Inko will be suspicious of me and Asia, so we will cut the call. Say congratulations to Hasumi from us. Izuku. We will. With that, they cut the call before the Midori is heard a door open. Hasumi. Hey, we are home. Hasashi. Welcome home, Hasumi. Hasumi. Hi Dad, is this all for me? It's death. Yeah, you are leaving soon, so we decided to throw you a goodbye party. She teared up a bit before running into her father, hugging him tightly. Hasumi. Thanks Dad. It's death. Now no more tears, let's have fun before you are leaving. Hasumi. You are right, a soldier shouldn't cry, but a daughter to two wonderful parents with two fantastic siblings can cry. The family then hug her with a smile. They play some board games before they eat dinner, and for dessert is a cake that wished her good luck. The family then went to sleep except Hasumi, as she went down to the basement to work on something. At 2 a.m. in the morning, Hasumi have placed two presents on the table, one for both Izuku and Juvia. She grabbed her bags before its death come downstairs. Is death ready? Hasumi nodded. She used her thumb to wipe a tear before sighing. Hasumi, I hope they will like them. Is death? I am sure they will. Now come on, you don't want to be late for the plane. Hasumi, I am coming, don't worry. They then left the house with his death, leaving a note saying she will be back soon after Hasumi have adjusted to the army. That morning Izuku wake up early and head downstairs to see his death note. Izuku, so they have left, good luck Hasumi. He then noticed the two presents. Izuku, is that for me and Juvia? He went over to the one with his name before opening it. Inside was a red helmet with military-style armor with a red bat in the middle of it. There was also a note on the helmet that said, Hasumi note, this is just the note she left in the present, not her speaking. Hey Izuku, so I have left, and I have decided to leave you and Juvia a gift each, but the weapons for yours are downstairs in the basement. I hope you enjoy them, and thank you for being the best brother any sister could have. I will really miss you and Juvia, and I hope to see you one day again. Remember, this isn't a true goodbye but more a see you later. From your older sister Hasumi. Izuku mind, thank you Hasumi. I will never forget the memories we both have created together, and I know we will see each other. Thank you for the present, and today I will now be known as the person that strikes fear into criminals. I am the Arkham Knight, Red Hood. Red Hood first fight, the bull, the cat and the train. Izuku could be seen standing over a group of white fan member that tried to hurt his father and little sister. Izuku, I am not asking again, where is you goddamn leader? White fan member, I won't tell. Izuku punched him as he knocked some teeth out the guy. Izuku, let's see how many teeth I need to knock out before you tell me. The white fan member gulped as he didn't know what to do. His new leader would kill him if he snitched, but this guy will make him pay much worse than whatever his leader can do. White fan member, he and a loyal partner is going to hijack a Atlas train they are at, that is all I know. Izuku good. He let go off the white fan member. He then walked with his father and sister home. Hasashi, what are you going to do now? Izuku, I am going to deal with that leader and make him pay a lot. When they arrived home, Izuku went to his room and switched into his gear that he got from his sister. He then come downstairs to see his father. Hasashi, please stay safe my boy. Izuku, I trust Hasumi, she made this for me for a reason. Now it is time for Red Hood to deal with their leader and make an example of what he can do. He then left the house. Juvia, should we be scared for him, or the people that messed with us? Hasashi, let's not worry about it for now. Come on, time to get you to take a nap. Juvia, but... Hasashi, no buts young lady. Juvia pouted a bit but did what she was told. While with Izuku, he was searching for the train's route and saw it was going to stop close to Vale. He then quickly got on his motorcycle and drove off to where the train should be at soon. While on the train, a red-haired man and a black-haired girl could be seen taking out the robot guard that was there. Come on Blake, all we need is to steal this one cargo. Blake understood. Suddenly got a call, and to say his anger was shown would be an understatement. What do you mean someone is coming after me? Then his face slowly turned into fear. Please tell me you are joking. Suddenly they hear someone coming. They turn around to see someone driving on a motorcycle towards them in a higher speed than the train. He then jumped onto the train with the motorcycle before getting off it, and stood on the opposite side of Blake and Izuku. So who between the two of you is the leader? That would be me. I am Adam Taurus. Now who are you? Izuku, Red Hood, pleasure to be meeting you, quite a pleasure. I'm about to end your bucking life. Adam, nice voice, don't you know that voice changer is for scaredy cats? He then charged at Izuku as both begin to fight with their swords. Izuku watched as Adam would mostly block his attack then attack. Izuku, I see how your semblance work, you take the hit to send back at me with a stronger attack with your sword. so without it you are useless. Adam, TCH, you must really be a nerd. Izuku, well, I am quite the observer to many things. Adam began to try and attack him, but Izuku dodged all of his attacks. Izuku, slow. Izuku then stepped backwards. Izuku, sloppy. He then sidestepped the attack. Izuku, slack. He then blocked an attack before kicking Adam in the stomach. Adam, damn you! Izuku, you of all people should know better what a person can accomplish when they takes charge at their own fate. Adam, you really think you can take me on? No human is a match for me, mercenary. Izuku, it is easy to take you down. Adam, enlighten me, you damn mercenary. Izuku, you let your anger control this fight. Let me show you when I take control of this fight. Izuku kicked Adam into the train cart, before jumping in it himself. Adam, TCH, what a strong kick you got. Izuku, then let me show you how hard I actually can punch. Izuku put his sword in a sheath that was on his back. Izuku, come at me, it is time for a rodeo. Adam charged at Izuku as he dodged Adam's attacks. He then grabs Adam's arm that held his sword and twists it, forcing him to let go off his weapon. Izuku then punched him in the face, sending him into a door. Adam, I will not let a human beat me. Izuku, I guess that it suits you to be a bull, because you act like one since you only see red. Adam charged at Izuku and tried punch Izuku. He blocked the attack and counter with the elbow to his stomach. Izuku then kicked Adam in the knee before punching his head, forcing Adam onto the ground. Izuku, still got a fighting spirit? Izuku then kicked Adam in the face. Adam was on his back as blood dripped from his nose. Izuku picked Adam up and glared at him. Izuku, so bull, any last words? Adam, burn in hell. Izuku, I will the day you arrive there. He was about to let out one final punch when he felt someone grab his arm. He turns around to see Blake. Blake, let him live, please. Izuku, give me one good reason. Blake, he might be cruel, but he is just trying to help our people. Izuku, his henchman almost got my little sister killed. Blake, please, he can maybe be redeemed. Izuku looked towards Adam that was not only out of his grip but also have gotten his weapon. A red glow comes from his weapon. Adam, die you damn brat. He swung his blade, almost hitting Izuku, but he ducked under it, avoiding it. Blake had to avoid it by quickly jump backwards. Izuku got up and barely avoided another slash from Adam. Izuku, looks like someone is attacking out of anger. Izuku punched Adam in the shoulder. He then followed up with a kick to the chest. Adam stumbled backwards before glaring at Izuku with hate, but it couldn't be seen under his eye mask. Izuku, round 2 then. Izuku took out a pistol before firing a shoot at Adam. He then continued to fire shoots at Adam as Adam could only take the shoots. Izuku then quickly kicked Adam one last time before glaring at him. He holds a pistol right in front of his face. Izuku, I could kill you right here right now. Adam, do it then, kill me. Izuku, no, I want you to live with the memory of me beating you, live with the fact that a human managed to best you. I can kill you, but you are going to be my example to the rest. Adam, coward. Izuku, I want to know, why did you attack my family? Adam, I couldn't care. I want to show everyone that us faunas are superior than you humans. Izuku, such a dumb dream, all this chaos only to be a hypocrite. He left Adam alone on the ground and headed to his motorcycle. Blake looked at Adam. Her look just was that of pity and disappointment. Adam, help me, Blake, let's kill that bastard. Blake, no, I am leaving the White Fang. You have turned this organization from a peace-wanting movement into an extremist terrorism group. I only joined to be equal, but you make all of us feared. Adam, Blake, don't you dare leave. I will make sure you won't be able to return to Menagerie ever again. She then began to walk away. Adam, Blake. 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 He screamed after her as she left him in the train cart. When she got outside, she sees Izuku getting on his motorcycle. Blake, hey, is there room for one more? Izuku, why? Blake, high chance I can't return home, and when he finally gets the strength to get up, he will hunt me down. Izuku sighed at this. Izuku, Alright, but you need to hold tight because you probably don't want to fall off. Blake nodded as she went over and sat behind him. While hugging herself closer to him, he shoot an explosive bullet at the thing that connected the train's carts, separating Adam from the train before he drove off the train and drove his way home. While driving, Blake was down as she couldn't probably see her parents ever again. Izuku, hey, I can feel you are sad. Blake, how? Izuku, your head hang low on my back. Blake, I am just sad that I won't be able to return to my parents. Izuku, you can stay with my family until you are able to return home, that is a promise. Blake nodded. Izuku, so Blake was it? I heard your name from that Adam guy when he shouted after you. Blake, yeah, but who are you? Izuku, you will find out soon. Before Blake could ask him why, she finds out that they are parked outside a garage. Both of them gets off the motorcycle and Izuku puts it inside before closing the garage door. They enter the house and was greeted by Hisashi and Julia that have woke up from a nap. Julia, hi Oni-san, how did it go dealing with the leader, and who is she? Izuku, the guy probably is crippled and this was his companion that have left him. Her name is Blake. Never got the last name. Blake, my last name is Belladonna. Izuku, Blake Belladonna, she can't return home for now so she is going to stay here. Hisashi, sure she can stay here but there is just one problem. Izuku, what is that? Hisashi, Hasumi hasn't moved out yet. Toshinori and Asia have the guest rooms and Juvia have the last room, which means she have to share a room. Izuku and Hisashi, we both know about Hasumi only allowing family in her room. Juvia likes her space, already have explained the guest room, so that only leaves. Izuku and Blake look at each other before both gained a blush, but his is invisible. Izuku, I will get a futon. Aura, dust and torch wick. 5 weeks after fighting Adam. Izuku have been embarrassed before, but he have never been this embarrassed. His two best friends are sitting in front of him on their knees finding the ground really interesting, while beside him was Blake that was completely red in the face. Izuku, why did you enter my room? Ruby, we were wondering if you wanted to train? Yang, yeah, we forgot the whole Blake thing. Flashback. Yang and Ruby have knocked on the door to Izuku's home. Hisashi opens up the door and look at them. Yang, hi, we were wondering if Izuku is up for training? Hisashi, he is still sleeping, come inside so you can ask him and wake him up. Ruby, alright. They head inside before walking up the stairs. When they got to Izuku's room, Yang told her sister to be quiet, she then slammed the door open. Yang, wake up sleepyhead. Izuku, Ard, what is going on? Blake sits up beside him. Blake, the buck man. They both look at each other before looking away, blushing, while Yang laughed, quickly leaving as Ruby peeked her head inside but slowly retracts it and go downstairs. Flashback over. Ruby, to be fair, it was all Yang's fault. Yang, Ruby! Blake, you better not do that again. Yang, understood. Izuku sigh. Izuku, next time you do that, Yang, I will stop making puns with you for a whole month. Yang have a shocked face while Blake and Ruby have a pleased look on her face. Yang, I promise I won't do that again, but I beg you don't stop making puns with me. Izuku, for today no. Yang begin to cry as Blake and Ruby just look at her. Ruby, sometimes I question my sister. Blake, how are you two related anyways? Ruby, our father, Yang's mother, decided to be a deadbeat while my mother is dead. Blake, I feel sorry for you. Ruby, it is alright, so when did you two start to date? Blake, HUH? Flashback again. Izuku and Blake have hanged out a couple of times these past weeks, and to say that they have feelings for each other would not be surprising. They have been shy about admitting it. Blake decided to get the courage as she stood in front of Izuku's door before knocking. Izuku, come in. Blake entered the room seeing Izuku just got off the top of his armor. Blake blushed a bit seeing Izuku but managed to compose herself. Blake, Izuku, can I tell you something? Izuku, what is it? Blake, Izuku, I love you. Izuku, huh? He turns around only to be met with a pair of lips against his. He then kissed Blake back as he pulls her closer. After a while, Blake pulled away as she caught her breath. Izuku, love you to Blake. Flashback over. Ruby bold. Blake had a blush on her face. Blake, so when are we going to train? Ruby, when Yang has helped Izuku unlock his aura. Blake, if she tries anything, I will begin to harvest fruit. A scary aura surrounded Blake as Yang nodded, getting the message. Yang helps Izuku unlock his aura and they begin to train and help Izuku with his aura. After what seems like hours, Yang and Blake was exhausted and on the ground while Izuku and Ruby was less exhausted. Yang, how are you two not exhausted? Ruby, sugar. Izuku, intense training. Blake, Ruby, how much sugar did you eat? Ruby, don't worry about it. Izuku, next time you ask me to make cookies for you, it is going to be sugar-free. Ruby began to cry a bit while sitting in a corner. Yang, you didn't regret that, didn't you? Izuku, with both know it was for her own health, she at one point turned into a Kirby when Kirby inhales things. Yang, fair point. Izuku, so what is this dust thing that is so famous here? During Izuku's time, he was not really interested learning about dust, he was more interested in catching up with his sister and hanging out with his new friends, so he didn't take his time to learn about dust. Yang, dust is used against Grim, they each have different elemental power. She then take one out as it a light red. Yang, this is a dust crystal, try shoot it after I have thrown it up in the air. Izuku pulls out his pistol as Yang throws the dust crystal into the air. Izuku shoot it with a bullet as it explode into fire. Izuku, nice, where can I get more of these dust crystals? Before anyone could answer, Ruby appear out of nowhere in front of him. Ruby, I know, follow me. She then grab him and before running away while dragging Izuku away. Blake, Yang, did your sister just steal my boyfriend? Yang, maybe? While with Ruby and Izuku, they were on their way to Vale, they took a detour to the garage so they could drive on Izuku's motorcycle. When they arrive at Vale, they continue to drive until they arrive at a shop called From Dusk Till Dawn. They enter the shop as Izuku watch Ruby directly head to the weapon magazine. Izuku's sweat drop a bit. Shop owner, hello young man, what can I do for you? Izuku, how much for the dust? Shop owner, it should be 100 lean, don't know how it actually costs so I make a random amount. Quick note, from here I went back to volume 1 the first episode of RWBY to write most of the dialogues that was in that episode. Izuku pays for it before being told how being handed a few tube-looking containers for the dust. Izuku head over and begin to take out the fire dust as well some of the other type of dust. While outside the shop, a tall and lanky guy with slanted, dark green eyes and bright, long, orange hair, with long bangs covering his right eye. Black eyeliner traced his visible left eye. He wears a red-lined white suit with long black pants and black shoes. His accessories included a small gray scarf, black gloves with buckled sleeves, and a black bowler hat with a small feather tucked into its red band. Behind him is 4 people that seems like guards but was probably thugs was following him. Izuku have finished getting his dust before heading to Ruby as she had headphones on and listened to music while reading her magazine. Suddenly the man and his guards enter. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a dust shop that is open this late? A gun was pointed at the old shop owner as he held his hand up. Shop owner, please, just take my lean and leave. Sure, calm down, we are not here for your money, grab the dust. The men opens some cases and pulls out containers. They head over to the dust and begin to fill the containers. The old shop owner was told to put dust crystals in another. Izuku was leaning on a wall when one of the person that followed inside saw them and pull out his weapon. Random thug, alright kids, put your hands where I can see them. They Izuku ignore him while Ruby continued to listen to music. Random thug, hey, I said hands in the air. He then walks up to them. Random thug, you two got a death wish or something? He then pulls Ruby's hood off, revealing to him that she was listening to music. Ruby, huh? She turns her head towards him as he points to his head, signaling her. She then takes off her headphones. Ruby, yes? Random thug, I said put your hands in the air now. Ruby, are you robbing me? Izuku mind, guess that we have to fight them. Izuku stood back up as he looked at the thug. Random thug, yes. Ruby, oh. She had a smug look on her face as Izuku just pulls out his katana and pistol, while he was waiting for the old shop owner to finish putting the dust in the case when the thug was sent flying into something while the other one come towards. Before turning towards Izuku and Ruby, only for Izuku and Ruby to kick him outside. While outside, Ruby had out her weapon, which was a scythe, and Izuku have his pistol aimed at. Ruby smiled before gaining a serious look on her face. She spins her scythe before the point of it hits the ground while facing towards. Okay, get them. They run outside before charging towards them. One got close to Ruby, only for her to lift herself up and spin around using her scythe that still was on the ground before kicking him in the head. Izuku was facing off against the other one in a sword fight. He began to overpower the thug before kicking him in the rib as a crack can be heard. He then blocked an attack from behind as he punched the guy on the side of the head, kicking him in the knee before uppercutting him. Ruby was using her scythe to avoid a thug trying to shoot her. She then charged towards him before kicking over behind. You were worth every cent, truly you were. He takes out his cigar and walks forward. Well, little Red and Mysterious Red, I can think we all can say it's been an eventful evening. Then stop up slamming his cane down before raising it. And as much as I'd love to stick around. He points his cane towards both of them as Izuku was on guard. I am afraid of this. A scope comes out of the cane. Is where we part ways. He shoot a fire dust crystal at them as Izuku tackle Ruby away and onto the ground before glaring at. Only to see he was gone, he got up and helped Ruby up before they both look around and see. Climbing the ladder, the old man comes out. Ruby, you okay if we go after him? Shop owner, They chased the guy up that ladder while got on top before running across the roof before stopping at the edge, while Ruby and Izuku was behind him. Ruby, hey! Izuku, end of the line Roman, for explanation, it will be revealed when we see Neo. Roman, you two are persistent. A bullhead fly up and a door was open. Roman climbs in before looking at them. Roman, end of the line Reds. He throws a fire dust crystal towards them before it hit the ground and he shot it. Izuku tried cover Ruby to make sure she didn't get hurt, but someone came in and blocked with a circle-like barrier. It was a blonde woman with green eyes. Izuku knew this was a huntress. She attacks the bullhead using what seems like magic. Roman runs in the cockpit of the bullhead as a woman was sitting there controlling the bullhead. He then takes over as the woman go out to deal with the other woman. The woman in the bullhead attacks the huntress with fire. The huntress blocked the attack before the woman suddenly make the fire explode. The woman managed to jump and avoid the attack before using the remnant of it to attack the woman. The woman kept it away while the huntress kept on attacking. Right when it was about to hit the bullhead, Roman used the top of it to block the attack. The huntress attack spin around the bullhead as the woman unleashed a massive blast that destroyed the attack around the bullhead. Ruby was about to shoot with her scythe that was now in a different mode, but she felt a hand on her shoulder. Izuku, not this time Ruby, let her handle it. Izuku looks behind him as he sees a place at the ground something glowed. He knew it was going to explode, so he pushed her out of explosive range and got himself away as the huntress jumped away. When they looked towards the bullhead it was gone. The huntress looks towards Izuku and Ruby. Ruby, you're a huntress. She had an excited look on her face. Izuku just sighed as he knew what she was about to ask, while he also knew they were in big trouble. Ruby, can I have your autograph? Izuku mind, was I also like that towards heroes? The next thing they know they were both in an interrogation room. Ruby, sorry for getting you in this mess. Izuku, trust me, I have been worse. He had a flashback of an angry Blake when she saw under his helmet there was a mark of a pair of lips on his cheek. He shivered that day as he had to explain what had happened. I hope that both you know that your actions tonight will not be taken lightly, young man and young lady. Izuku, does that include the other ones I have done? He got a stern look, so he decided to keep quiet. You both put yourself and others in great danger. Ruby, they started it. Izuku, they were also asking for it. If it were up to me, both of you would be sent home with a pat on the back. Ruby was about to be happy, but Izuku placed a hand on her shoulder signaling there was more. And a slap on the wrist. She slapped what seems like a whip for horses onto the table as it frightened Ruby a bit as she hugged herself into Izuku. But there is someone here that would like to meet you. Suddenly a silver-haired man in a dark green outfit with a black coat over it, he also have weird glasses, he enters with a plate of cookies and a cup of coffee. Ruby rose and Izuku Midoriya, also known as Red Hood. The man studied Ruby a bit while finding her eyes interesting. You have silver eyes. Ruby and Izuku was a bit confused why he was interested in his eyes. So where did you two learn to do this? Ruby, Signal Academy. Izuku, my sister and mother. They taught you to use one of the most dangerous weapons ever designed? And you sister and mother taught you how to fight like a special military expert? Ruby, well, one teacher in particular. Izuku, well, my mom is highly respected but is a bit sadistic when it comes to training. I see. He places the plate onto the table as Ruby was a bit hesitant before grabbing a cookie and began to eat one. She began to eat all of them one by one, but Izuku actually snatched them away right before she managed to eat them while whistling. Ruby pouted a bit. Izuku, don't want you to choke. He then handed her one which she ate. It's just that I've only seen one other scythe wielder of that skill before, a dusty old crow, and to you, mister, I have only seen one soldier alongside a general being able to us a sword as good as you. Right before Ruby was about to speak, a hand was over her mouth. Izuku finished the cookie before speaking. My mother and sister offered me to train with them. Didn't take long before I joined and I had to train really hard to even be able to fight my sister while she is still holding back. She finished eating the cookie as Izuku removed his hand. Ruby, sorry, that's my Uncle Crow, he's a teacher at Signal. I was complete garbage before he took me under his wing and now I'm all like. Izuku, Ruby, no, not while I am right beside you. I feel like you sometimes have hatred towards my head. So I've noticed. And what is an adorable girl and a vigilante boy such yourselves doing at a school designed to train warriors? While you with family that is in the military. Ruby, well, I want to be a huntress. Izuku, I want to save people ever since I was back in Japan, but I moved here and things have gone better. So you want to slay monsters, while you want to save people? Izuku, yeah, I am actually going to join Beacon along with my girlfriend and Ruby's sister. We are 2 years older than her, so she still have 2 years before attending. Ruby, that and all the cool adventures that come along. Do you two know who I am? Izuku and Ruby, you're Professor Ajpin, headmaster at Beacon. Ajpin, hello. Ruby, nice to meet you. Izuku, good evening. Ajpin, you want to come to my school? Ruby, more than anything. Ajpin, well, okay. Izuku smiled at this as Ruby was excited. Izuku, mind, Ruby, this is now your Huntress Academy. Entering Beacon and the two assassin sisters. Ruby was being hugged by Yang as Blake and Izuku trying their hardest not to laugh. Blake is hiding her cat ears behind a fake bow. Izuku, Yang, stop acting like that before you end up breaking her spine. Remember when we got back and told what happened? Yang, can I be proud of my sister? She is going to be the bee's knee of Beacon. Ruby, I don't want to be bee's knees. I don't want to be any type of knees. I just want to be a normal girl with normal knees. Blake, but you will be pretty much talked about since you managed to skip ahead. Ruby, but I had to leave my friends behind at Signal. Izuku, are me and Blake not friends to you? Ruby, that was not what I meant. Izuku, don't worry, I am just teasing. Ruby pouted a bit, but was still smiling. She is happy that she have some of her friends with head there. Blake, great Ashni is here. They look towards where Blake is looking. Izuku, yep, that is probably Ashni. My sister have meet one. They both have worked together on a mission last time we talked. She does have respect for her. Blake, is it hard to get her respect? Izuku, ask all those military men that hit on her. She already said she respected them for what they did but lost it when they hit on her. Blake, yikes. Yang, hey, we can see everything up here. Ruby, looks like we aren't far from home after all. Yang, Beacon is our new home. Izuku, that might be, but no matter what home we have in the future, our true home will always be the one where our families will be waiting for us to visit. Blake, he is right. Yang, Blake, stop always siding with your boyfriend just because. Izuku, want to finish that sentence, Yang. She looks towards Izuku that is holding a gun close to her head. Yang, no, I think I will keep what I said to myself. Izuku, good, glad we are on the same page. He puts his gun back into its holder. They all heard a disgusting noise and turned towards the source to see someone is vomiting. Yang, looks like the view isn't for everyone. Ruby, gross it is on your shoes, Yang. Yang, get it off. Get it off. Get it off. Ruby, get that away from me. Blake and Izuku as the two half-sisters struggle with a bout of vomit. Blake, if that disgusts them, then let's hope they haven't seen that much blood I have seen. Izuku, or how brutal I have been. Blake, yeah, you have anger issues. Izuku, well, I was bullied until my sister found, so I might have a lot of pent-up anger. Blake, do you ever wonder what happened to them? Izuku, they don't deserve a thought, to be honest. When they finally land, the boy that vomited hurried to a trash can to empty out the rest of his stomach. Ruby, on the other hand, was excited seeing all the weapons around them. At some point she floats off the ground to go see a weapon, but Yang stopped her. Yang, aren't you happy with your own weapon? Ruby, of course I am happy with Crescent Rose, but I also want to see new weapons. Izuku, I question you sometimes, Ruby. Yang, looks like my friends are here, bye. She suddenly run past Ruby, which made her spin while Yang run inside with her friends. Izuku, sometimes I question what is wrong with her. Blake, same. Ruby was trying to gain focus but fall backwards and onto a person's luggage. What are you doing, you dolt? Ruby, sorry. Izuku and Blake turn to the person and see the Schnee from earlier. She picks up her luggage before grabbing a dust capsule and wave it in front of Ruby's nose. Izuku, dumb choice, no matter what, never wave dust in someone's nose. Blake, duck and cover? Izuku, let's take some steps backwards. They then walked away a bit as Ruby sneezes. The capsule that Weiss was holding ended up landing at Blake's feet. She picks it before looking towards the Schnee, ranting about what Ruby almost blowing them up. Izuku, alright, that is enough, miss. I have a name. Izuku, and that is? My name is Weiss Schnee. Blake, the heiress to the Schnee Corporation. Weiss, finally some recognize who I am. Blake, same company that use slave faunus workers and have questionable method how they obtain the dust. Ruby snorted a bit. Weiss, you. Please stop before you embarrass yourself even more. They turned towards the new voice and saw a small girl with black eyes and black hair in some kind of school uniform. A sword was on her right side of her waist while she was holding a bag of cookies, eating them. Weiss, this isn't over. Sure. Weiss walked angrily away. Izuku, thank you. You are welcome. She then walked away. Ruby, that was not my fault. Izuku, we saw the whole thing go down. She should never shake dust in front of someone's nose. Hey, can I come with you three? Ruby, sure, vomit boy. Blake and Izuku snickered at the nickname. My name is not Vomit Boy, it is John Ark. Izuku, that nickname will stick to you for a while. They all begin to walk around. Izuku and Blake thought they were going the wrong way as the two talking people in front of them was unaware where they were going. Blake, they have no clue. Izuku, it is that obvious, but let's see where this goes. The conversation then switched to their weapons. Ruby had to explain that her scythe also can turn into a sniper, but she needed to simplify it and tell John was also a gun. John have a family heirloom and a shield that can change sizes. John, what about you two? Blake, I have a sword that can detach and be a blade and a pistol. They are still connected with a rope that can pull the blade to the pistol. Izuku, a katana and 2 pistols gifted by my sister. The pistols can combine to a rifle. John, man, you two have cool weapons, at least it is not as boring as mine. Izuku, all weapons are cool, doesn't matter how they work. Ruby, wait, weren't we supposed to find the orientation room? Izuku, took your time, me and Blake waited for you two to realize that we were going the wrong way. Blake, just follow us. They follow the two to the orientation. When they arrive, Ruby heads to Yang while Izuku and Blake found a spot besides a long black-haired girl. She was also wearing something that reminded them of a school uniform. She also have red eyes. They listened to what Ashban said and then they all were sent to a hall where they can sleep. Izuku was using his scroll to write to his sister while Blake was reading her book. Both of them was in a sleeping bag that can fit 2 people in it. Ruby was writing a letter and Yang just finished changing and just got out. Yang, hey Ruby, what are you doing? Ruby, writing a letter to the gang back in Signal. Yang, oh that is so cute. She was hit by a pillow. Ruby, I am skipping 2 years ahead and ended up leaving the others behind. Yang teased her a bit more before getting hit by a pillow. Ruby, can't believe we are going to sleep inside a beacon with so many people here. Yang, don't think like that, think about this like a big sleepover. Ruby, Dad won't approve of all these boys. Yang, I know that I do. Some boys were flexing while some other was wrestling each other. Ruby just looked around before spotting Izuku and Blake. She heads towards them as Yang followed behind her. Ruby, hey. Yang, sup lovebirds. Izuku and Blake, hello Ruby and Yang. Ruby, why are you reading that Blake again? Blake, because I enjoy the story. Yang, Blake, we all know why you enjoy reading that story. Blake, shut up. She was blushing as she knew that when she left it out one day they all 3 read it. Weiss, can you 4 keep it down? Some people are trying to sleep. And why are you 2 in the same sleeping bag? Yang, hey calm down, we were just talking with each other, don't need to be such a. Izuku, Ruby still have her swear jar with her Yang. Yang, annoying person. Why is she carrying a swear jar with her? They all looked towards the voice to see the girl from earlier. Izuku, you don't want to know. Weiss, just stay quiet. Izuku, hey Blake, mind blowing out the light? Blake nodded before blowing out the light as the whole room fell into darkness. The next day another person was awoken by a very loud orange-haired girl. Izuku and Blake was eating their breakfast as the orange-haired girl continued to speak with her friend and talk about how they can be a team together. When they got to the locker room they found both of the girls from yesterday that was wearing their own version of some type of school uniform. Izuku and Blake went to their locker to get their weapon. When Izuku closed his locker the 2 girls stood behind the door. Hello there Red Hood. Izuku, and you 2 are? My name is Akame and this is my sister Kurome. Remember those 2 assassins you faced off against? Izuku, wait, that was you 2. Who were after my head that time in the first place? Kurome, that Adam guy. He was willing to pay a lot if we were able to bring your head after you beat him. Izuku, that explains it. Blake, considering the fact that Adam always sent a couple of white fan members after you family after you beating, I am not surprised one bit. Izuku, can that idiot bull not leave me alone for at least a year or so? Akame, well he did pay us even though we never returned and told him you were still alive. All we needed was the money so we can pay for both the school and Kurome's medical need. Izuku, for someone controlling the white fang, his intelligence really showed there. Blake, so he just gave you the money without thinking that you both could just take it without actually there be a chance leaving with it? How idiotic can he be? They just shrug. They then all head outside to a cliff. Right below them is a forest. There was a platform, one for each person and their own name on it. They were explained how the teams are formed with 2 people making eye contact with each other. As everyone was getting launched when it reached Izuku, he had only one thing in mind. Izuku mind. Time to prove to everyone that I am not useless and make my family proud. Forming teams. Izuku was launched off his platform and into the forest. He managed to land safely on the ground and begin to run trying to find Bota partner and the forest temple. He was running for a while until he run into a pack of Ursas. He take out his katana as he looked at them. Izuku, well, seems like I have to put down some bears. The Ursas roars at him. He wasn't faced. They all run towards him and Izuku just stood still. He waited until they were close enough. He then appeared behind them as all of them was sliced multiple times before falling dead down. You got skills. He turns around to stand face to face with Akame. Izuku, guess we are now partners. Akame, yeah, you wouldn't happen to know where my sister is? Izuku shook his head. They begin to head towards north to find the temple. Akame, you seem very skilled using a katana. Izuku, I was trained by my mother and sister. My mother is a general while my sister is a soldier. My sister started to train with my mother all the back when she found out her and our father was dating. Akame, she must be strong then. Izuku, you have no idea. I might never be able to beat her in a fight, but she gave up most her childhood to train, just so she could be strong enough to bring me back. Akame, she is a really caring sister from the sound of it. Izuku, she really is. They continued to walk for a while, killing whatever grim they came across. After what seemed like half an hour, Izuku began to ask her a question. Izuku, hey Akame, why did you want to be a huntress? Akame, well, it is mostly to help my sister and because I want to get rid of these grims. They are a stain in this world and I am going to get rid of them. Izuku, well, you won't be able to alone, but with a team you would. Akame nodded. After a few minutes they hear someone talking. They run to the sound and see Yang just have beaten the Ursa. They watch as she threatened the second Ursa only to Blake kill it right before it could charge at Yang. Blake, hey Yang. Yang, I could have defeated it, Blake. Blake, I know, but it seems like we are partners. Yang, yeah, looks like it. Izuku, hey Blake and Yang. Izuku couldn't react as Blake have tackled him into a hug. Yang, calm down, love cat. Akame, those two are really close. Yang, well, ever since Blake was forced to leave her home due to Adam, she have been living with him and his family, so they have bonded a lot, which now bring us to them dating. Akame, should we wait for her to stop or just force them apart for now? Yang, force them apart for now. Yang went over and grabbed both of them before slowly pulling them apart from each other. Yang, Blake, keep it in you before jumping on him. We still need to get to that temple. You can do that as much as you want when we are finished with this. Blake, fine. They continue to walk for a while until they find some kind of temple ruin. They head towards the temple to find the artifact they need to bring back with them. When they enter the temple, they all notice it was chess pieces there was inside the middle of it. Yang, hey Blake, what about a cute little horsey? Blake, sure. Izuku, I think we are missing someone. Yang, wait, did either one of you two encounter Ruby? Izuku and Akame shook their head. Yang panics since they don't know where Ruby is. Izuku, Yang, I am sure she is fine. She will be able to handle whatever is being thrown at her. Yang, my sister is out there with who knows what kind of partner she could have ended up with. Izuku, Yang, you know as much as I that if someone is going to force her to do something, then I am going to make sure they vanish without a trace ever leading back to me or anyone. Yang, that at least comfort me a little, but she isn't here. I am just so scared for her. Izuku, so am I, mostly when you are around her. If a Grim doesn't kill her, then you will with all those hugs you give her. Yang wanted to say something but sigh. Yang, I guess you are right. They all hear what seems like a high girl scream. Yang, who is the screaming girl? Izuku, that was not a girl that was screaming, that was a boy. Blake, how do you know that? Izuku, remember John. Blake, yeah, why? Izuku, my helmet helped me to know it was his scream by making his voice a little louder, as both the scream and his voice was a match. They then hear Ursa roaring. They watch as it comes running out the forest. It stood up its legs before fall down dead, then a girl fell down from it. Ah, it is broken. Nora never do that again. The now named Nora then quickly ran into the temple ruin and grabbed the rook while beginning to sing something. The other boy then shouted her name. Nora, coming, run! Izuku, guess chaos is now arriving. Kirom, you can say that. Why did you leave me behind? Kirom, you were just slow. They turn around to see Kirom there along with her partner. She was wearing some kind of pink armor, a pink helmet with black glass that cover her eyes and go down towards her mouth. She have black armored boots with pink lines on them. On her back was a giant sniper. She have pink hair with 2 pigtails. Yang, I swear if one more unexpected thing happened them I am going to lose it. Izuku, Ruby is falling in the air right now. Yang, I hope for your sake that. Suddenly a screaming Ruby come falling down fast, but out of nowhere a flying John came and sent them both into a tree. Izuku, well, that happened. Ruby then came out of the tree. Ruby, Yang. Yang, Ruby. Nora, Nora. Then a red-haired girl in a Spartan-like outfit come running out the forest while a Death Stalker was running after her. Izuku, guess we can't relax for 2 seconds. Yang, can't everyone chill out for 5 seconds? They waited for 5 seconds to pass as nothing new happened. Izuku, there, that was 5 seconds. Yang, shut up. They then hear another yell to see Weiss falling down from sky. Izuku, she is falling. Blake, can we let her hit the ground? Izuku, if we did, then one less headache, but we both know one thing. Blake, she need to survive. Out of nowhere, John jumped off the tree branch and catch Weiss as both hit the ground. Weiss sarcastic, my hero. John, my back. Then the Spartan-wearing girl was hit and sent flying towards the others. Izuku helped her up. Izuku, hello, I am Izuku. I don't think we have meet. Hi, I am Pira. Yang, now we can all die together. Izuku, stop overreacting. Ruby, let me deal with the Death Stalker. Yang, Ruby. But it was too late, she headed towards it ready to fight it. Yang, don't. Izuku, I will go help her. Yang, she is sometimes a bit too reckless. Izuku, but this is why she is your favorite person. Yang, I know. Izuku then charged at the Death Stalker right as Ruby was about to attack it only for it to block. Izuku took the change to jump over its claws as it hadn't noticed him. He stabs its tail as it began to swing it around trying to get him off its tail. Izuku pulls out a pistol and began to shoot its stinger off its tail. Ruby saw the chance to attack but was stopped by the Nevermore that had hit her cape with a feather. Ruby, hey Izuku, a little help. Izuku, got my own problem. Yang, Blake, it seems both could use our help. Blake, say less. Yang used her Ember Celica to boost herself, while Blake used her Semblance. John, we shouldn't let them have all the fun. Nora, I am going to break their legs. Kurome, hey, mind trying to take down the giant Nevermore? Why not? One less Grim in the world and should be easy to shoot it down. She pointed her sniper to the Nevermore as she takes aim, while John, Ren, Nora, Pira, Weiss, Kurome, and Akane charged towards the Death Stalker. Ruby managed to get her cape out of the feather and barely avoided an attack from the Death Stalker. Yang come in with a punch while hitting it with bullets. It was about to strike Yang, but Blake come in and blocked it with Gamble Shroud. Weiss used her Semblance to freeze it. Izuku, hey Ruby, we need to shot down the giant overgrown crow. Ruby, got it. She turns her scythe into sniper mode and begin to shot at the Nevermore while Izuku take out his katana from the stinger before putting it on his back before jumping off the tail, and pull out his pistols and begin to shot at it. The Death Stalker had trouble with the other that was attacking it. Yang, any ideas on taking this thing down? John, I don't know, but Izuku have loosened the stinger up a bit. Let's get it removed. Nora, can I? John, go right ahead. Nora smiled as she raised her hammer and slammed it right down onto the Death Stalker. Back with Izuku and Ruby, they along with Kurome's partner keep shooting it down, but it had little to no effect. Ruby, any ideas how we are going to deal with this thing? Izuku, we need to find a way to bring it down. Ruby, can you use your crescent rose to launch you onto its back? Ruby, maybe, but why? Izuku, land on its back, turn into scythe mode and begin to bring it down by having the scythe blade on its neck to bring it down by also using the sniper to give a little boost. Ruby, could work. Izuku, we only get one chance. Ruby nodded. She turned Crescent Rose into scythe mode and wait for it to be close enough before running close to it, and jump up before using her scyther to boost herself. She then make the bottom blade of her scythe connect with the Nevermore before shooting another shot pulling the Nevermore's neck. She then use all taste strength she has to make to Nevermore be upside down while still having the scythe blade against its neck. She then continued to boost herself downwards as the blade begins to cut deeper into the neck. Right before she hit the ground, she managed to cut its neck off. Ruby, that was exhausting. She was about to fall over only to be caught by Izuku. Ruby, thanks. Izuku, no problem. Ruby, I know you and Blake are dating, but could you carry me just for now? Izuku, At this point she knows that you just enjoyed being carried by me. Ruby just giggled. Ruby, sorry. Izuku just picked her up and made her be on his back as they watched the Death Stalker fall down dead. Yang, hey, have you two dealt with an Evermore? Izuku, yes, but someone is a bit tired. Blake, how is it that a Grim can make her this tired but not when we train? Ruby, you try pull that thing with your weapon by its neck and try force it down, it is heavier than you think. Yang, she got a point. Blake rolled her eyes. Akame, shouldn't we head back? Izuku, did everyone get an artifact? Kurome and Akame pulled out a Black Knight chess piece. Izuku, alright then, seems we are set to head back towards Beacon. Everyone nodded before heading back. When they got back they handed Ashpin the artifacts before waiting for the teams to be made. First was Team Cardinal, CRDL, which Izuku already could tell would be a problem. Then the next team was John, Pira, Nora and Ren, that is Team Juniper, JNPR, the team leader is John. Next was Ruby, Yang, Blake and Weiss, their team name was Team Ruby, RWBY, last was his team. Ashpin, Izuku Midoriya also known as the Red Hood, Akame Kurigane, Kurome Kurigane and mine Pinkstar, you four have retrieved the Black Knight piece. From today and onwards you will work as Team Arkham will be led by Izuku Midoriya. Izuku was shocked at this as the other from his team just gives him a thumbs up. When everything is done Izuku and his new team is asked to stay behind. Izuku, what do you need Ashpin? Ashpin, you see, I have observed all four of you for a long time, even before you entered my school, and I have an offer for you. Izuku, what is this offer? Ashpin, that Team Arkham is going to be this school's first assassin team. You will accompanying other teams or your team is giving a capturing or kill mission on specific targets. Izuku, what do you girls think? Akame, me and Kurome was already assassins, so nothing new, but we follow what you choose. Kurome, I agree with my sister. Mine, why not? I have been hired before to take down a few people here and there. Izuku, so we all have at least killed a few people. Ashpin, and gotten away with it, so what do you say? Izuku, I will agree on one condition, General Ironwood and his force is not allowed to capture us. Ashpin, deal, I wish you luck Team Arkham. They head to their dorm room. Izuku head to the bathroom to change as the girl changed in the dorm room. When they were done, they let Izuku know as he moved his bed a bit away from the others. They then went to sleep. While with Roman he looked over the dust crystals when suddenly someone tapped him on his back as the person was holding a few signs. Roman, what is it? Yes, I meet him. Don't worry, I have a feeling we will see him more now.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.